Hello.
All right, welcome. I'm Kelly.
Corey. How's it going?
Yep. I'm always like, welcome you two people who watch. I know Dad watches and Carrie watches.
Hey, family. And friends.
No, yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
And maybe somebody out there that I don't know.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, we are Kelly and Corey, and we are learning about kind of what we're being asked to do here, and it's really leaning towards a lot of mental health, and it's just really awesome. Last night Corey texted me something about polarity, and it's kind of got me thinking about polarity, and I think about that a lot. I really do. I've had more incredible conversations in my head about polarity, and just understanding that everything has an opposite. It's just so fascinating to really think about and to ponder on. And I've just had, like I said, I'll lay in the bathtub and just think about it and my experience with it, because I've lived for 48 years, and so I've had a long life of recognizing, of coming to realize how much time I have lived in each side. Like, you know, and what polarity is, it's, you know, the opposites. It's the good and the bad. It's the negative and positive.
The hot and the cold. Dark
and light. Highs and lows. And I just think about my life and how much of my life I've spent between the two, and how much I've kind of fought, because I was fighting against the mental illness that we've talked about in a few other videos, but that I've like fought to be in the positive, or fighting the negative because I don't want to be in the negative. And there's always this battle to be balanced. And, you know, I don't know that, like I feel balanced today, but I could wake up any morning and I could be low. You know, every day is so different. I can have a feeling of low, but I don't have to stay there. I'm learning to be more in the positive. I'm learning to do and make choices that give me that positive energy, that give me the higher, instead of staying in that lower vibration. There's so much about polarity that I could talk about, and so let me share what you've been thinking.
What you're saying, I'm good on a day where I just show up and it's just even kill. Mm-hmm. Like those days. The polarity being extreme hot, extreme cold, and just mediocre. From where I've lived most of my life in mental illness, the polarity, being mentally ill, that is the extreme polarity of mental health. And like, I feel like a person that has been mentally ill most of their life, when they reach mental health, you're on a different, there's a place that I am, that when I'm just having a normal day that isn't chaotic and I don't have drama. I mean, I've lived my whole life with this drama in my head, living on this extreme of this level of mental illness and mental health. Now that I'm mentally healthy, where I'm at on this line, which is that polarity, I'm always, even on my worst days, it's good. Like I'm not fighting. I'm not in a battle with myself. And so I wake up, and even if I am having a depressed day, just feeling low, I'm way higher because of how I'm treating myself. Like how I feel. Being mentally well is just the whole opposite of being mentally ill. So I think people that find mental health that have suffered from mental illness are just on a plane of happiness that is just, it's different because I haven't ever been here. A lot of people spend most of their life being happy, well, just being good people. Being good people. I hate how I say people. I'll listen to that on listening to myself, but that's just something I hear. But on a normal day, I feel like I am just happier than the average person because I have suffered for so long. Yeah. And I don't want to say that I'm better than anybody, that in any sense, because I'm not in any way. But I just can be so happy even when nothing's going on. Like I can sit on a couch and read or meditate or pray or just actually sit there and watch my kids act crazy, and I'm just cool. I'm good. I'm just here, present, and I've never experienced that. If I was sitting here with you, I'd be thinking, when I have to be somewhere. I gotta go sit and wait for a couple of, my whole day is revolved around insanity. Now it's like I'm here, and it's just, there's not this battle in my head. I'm on the other side of this pole, this magnet, and you call it yin and yang. I mean, there's an extreme opposite to everything, and I am over here now, and I just want, I say it all the time, I love it. Yeah, I totally get that. And I think that it is because our lows have been so low. Exactly. We've been in such darkness. And, you know, that's really, truly what this life is about, is for us to experience the extremes. And there are some people who go to one extreme that is so deep that their other extreme is so high. And so it's like, if you've experienced hell in this life, you get to experience heaven in this life, you know, and it's such an incredible thing. And I don't want people to experience hell in this life, you know, and that's the thing about it, is like, we don't have to. We don't have to go to such extreme depths to experience such joy and happiness in this life. I was texting Ella, my oldest daughter, today, and I was saying, I just pray that what I've been through, the extreme lows, and what they've seen, what all my children have seen and experienced, and my wife, I hope that I was able to do that so that they don't have to do that. That I can teach them so that they don't have to go there. I'm so grateful. I mean, I went through hell for a long time, 30 years. And if that is something that results, she's a magnificent girl, and my kids are awesome, and I hope that they all follow their oldest daughter, my oldest daughter's example. I'm not going to put anybody on a pedestal. We all struggle. We all have our issues. Everybody does. Nobody's perfect. But I hope that my suffering I hope it can stop with me, because it is generational. That's something I was talking about with my brother, with our brother. It is a generational thing, and I pray that I'm the one that had to go to that extreme so that it can flip around and they can experience the other extreme. Well, I know that's not how it works. I just hope they don't have to suffer the way that I suffered, that they were able to experience enough of the pain that I experienced constantly 24/7 to where they don't have to go there. That's, anyway, that's what you brought to my mind. Is I was actually just texting her that today. It is. It's the hell that mental illness puts a person in whenever you're free from it. And anybody can be free from it.
Yeah.
Anybody that suffers with mental illness can be completely free from that horrible place and be mentally healthy. And you hear it a lot in the 12-step program is my worst day sober is better than my best day, and I'll say mentally ill. My worst day mentally healthy is beautiful.
I mean, that is truly what addiction, where it stems from, is the mental health. You're not going to have a mentally healthy person who's addicted to drugs. You're just not going to, because, you know, being mentally healthy, I want to do whatever I can for my body, my mind, my spirit, my emotions. Like, I want to feel good, and I know that anything that I put into my body that's hurting it, that's damaging it, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that anymore. And so when we're mentally ill, we just want to feel better. And that's the thing about drugs, is that they make you think that you are in the beginning. Like, it helps, and it helps, you know, in some way that you're searching for.
It works till it doesn't.
Right. And then when it doesn't, that's where it takes you down the paths of hell.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what's so deceptive about it, is, and what it pulls people in so deep, because in the beginning it feels like, oh my gosh, like, this is helping me, this is making me better, this is good, it's helping me to be all these things that I want to be. And so then you're doing it, and then it wraps around you like a chain. It chains you to it so tightly that you can't live life without it. And your whole life becomes about getting it and doing it and having it. And if you don't have it, then you are even more miserable than before you started. And it's such a cycle. And I'm so grateful to be free of so much of that I have been chained to so much of my life. And it's not always necessarily the drugs. You know, there's also with the codependency, and I think that the two go together. Anytime that you have a drug addiction, you also have codependency wrapped in there. So that's another addiction. So it's not all just chemicals, but it just takes you to such a bad place, and it just makes you low. And it takes you into darkness. It takes you into the negative polarity. That's what drugs do. It takes you extremely to the negative, where your mind is just wrapped up in that one thing. And it's really difficult to get out of whenever you're trapped in it.
Yeah.
And it's really, and we've talked many times about just the little tiny things. When you're in it, it just feels you're so stuck. Sometimes it does take mental breakdowns. It does take rock bottoms. You know, it takes jail. It takes rehabs. It takes hospitals. Sometimes that's the path that it takes people on. But hopefully, you know, hopefully we can help people to not get to that depth, you know, because you don't have to. You don't have to get to a rock bottom where it's like a life and death thing. You can choose. You can choose differently today. Yeah. To just start doing things differently. And it's really just such small, simple things. It really is. I think whenever we're trapped in one extreme, it's like we feel like, well, now we have to do the extreme opposite. You know, those of us who are extremists. And I think that most drug addicts could say that you are an extremist. Like, we feel like, okay, I've been here for so long, now I want to get there, so I have to do the exact extreme opposite. And it's not in that. It's in just the really tiny little things. The gratitude. And that's such a simple thing. But gratitude will just shift your perspective. Just drinking water, putting something good into your body, you know, it's just really little things.
Yeah, it's it's a place I never want to go back. That's for sure. I said that last time. It's the denial part that took me the longest. I mentioned that also. You know, mentally ill people, it's so hard to grasp that whenever a person is mentally ill. It's like very, very difficult to actually accept it, because your brain's telling you everything else is what's wrong, but I'm not going to accept this stigma. But why would I be embarrassed to share that I was a mentally ill person when, I mean, that's just not who I am. You know, I'm mentally healthy, and for me to keep that to myself and not share with people and tell people where I've been, I would just be totally lacking gratitude. I would be totally lacking gratitude if I was keeping this to myself. There was a feeling today when I woke up of just, complete wholeness. I could feel it throughout my body. A sense of well-being. And I've never been able to share that with anybody. I never have, because I've never had it. I've never had that within me. And it's so just wonderful. I want to share it with everybody. I want to share it with the world, because people don't have to continue suffering. And, you know, and it is a process. We've talked about that. The process of, first off, just becoming aware of it and getting medicated, getting your brain right, and getting off the medication, moving towards a more spiritual life. I mean, you have to find something higher than yourself if you're going to get out of mental illness. You have to, because I can't do anything without it, without some sort of connection to something greater than myself. Because I'm on my own. I know where I go. I know what I do. And I'll say it again, I'm so happy I never have to go back there. I never have to go back there. And I mean, it's just I live on this edge of that pole, and you know, it's just beautiful.
It is. It's a beautiful thing to be able to have the agency, you know, because whenever we get trapped in addiction, we lose that agency because we're so wrapped up. It's very interesting to think about.
Complete loss of agency. You are a slave. And it does take institutions, and I mean, it takes some extremes for some people to break free from it.
And it's changing your perspective, because when you're stuck over in the negative polarity, you're surrounded by negative. That's where you are.
Everybody, everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, your whole world is just darkness. That is all that you feel, experience, see. You see all the bad in the world. Everyone's out to get you. Everyone's lying. Everything is so negative.
Can't trust anybody.
Because you can't trust yourself.
I can't trust myself. I hate myself. How could I love anybody? Even my own children, I felt like they didn't like me unless I was who I thought I was, you know, a drug addict. I thought that I had to be that way for them, for my own children to like being around me, because I hated being around myself. I hated myself.
You felt like you needed to take drugs in order for them to want to be around you.
And it had nothing to do with anybody else, you know. And a lot of people would think that I'm doing it so that I can be around them, but it had nothing to do with anybody else. It had to do with myself. I couldn't stand being with myself ever. because I was mentally ill. I was lying about everything and about everywhere that I'd go and about everything that I'd do. And I mean, it was so exhausting, but it had nothing to do with anybody else. It was 100% about me. I couldn't stand myself, so I needed to be somebody else and not feel who I was. So I would use or abuse myself, and it's just to love myself today. And yeah, I've had the thoughts like, I really don't know how to love anybody, but I know how to love myself. And if I'm going to love myself, it allows me to express love.
I am too. Like, I'm coming to really like myself and like who I am and the things that I'm doing and just being who I am. And it's been really interesting over the past year and a half of coming to really know myself, because I've just always, I feel as though I've always lived my life for other people, even though I'm like, I feel like I've been very selfish a lot of my life, but at the same time, it's like I just wasn't even myself. And so just coming to love to paint, like art, you know, just being creative and just writing and meditating and journaling and, well, that was the same. Just things that I enjoy doing. Taking care of myself and taking care of my body. I've just never taken care of my body, really.
Me neither. I've done a lot of things to look healthy, but I've never taken care of my insides. Yeah, it's an absolute miracle that my brain works and that my body is healthy and that I can actually think and sit here and feel and just feel good. That my brain's producing stuff and I have endorphins, and I mean, it's all working. it's so just, it's a whole different world. Mental health is a whole different extreme from mental illness. It's a whole different extreme. And I'm just so happy to be free from that hell.
I'm so grateful too that I have had the experiences that I've had, even as hard as they've been, because I truly am able to, like, just be so grateful for such little things too. Like, I have so much gratitude in my life just for everything.
And I know that the things that I've experienced and done, and it's all for everybody's good. You know, it really is everything. And that's what brings me peace, is that I know that God has a plan for everybody, and experience is what this life is all about. So I have a lot of amends, and you know, living amends, just being present and just continuing to do what I'm doing. But I know that everything that my children have experienced and people that I love have experienced with me, that ultimately it's all experience, and it's all good. And it's not acceptable. Like, it's I don't ever have to be mentally ill. I say it over and over. I just don't have to. I don't have to go back there. And it means that I still have a lot of growing to do. I have a lot of feelings to feel and things to go through, but at least I can experience them and be mentally aware and present and not just have them happen to me. I actually get to participate and be present.
Yeah, there's so much that I don't even remember. Like, there's so much in my life I just was not present for, because I was always in my mind somewhere else. And so there's so much of my life I can't even recall.
Yeah, too absorbed. It's just... I am so grateful to be able to be present and to just sit here and not feel like I have to be anywhere. Even though I have other things that I have to do, I can schedule. I have time because I'm not wasting it.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
I'll go home and sit down and actually have time to work on myself and to do things and to just be at peace. It's great. I love
really
this
is.
life. I actually have been saying that I hope I live to be 100 years old. I used to say, man, give me 70 and I'm good. But I would love to see my grandbabies grow and to be a part of just watching old age. I want to get old and be mentally healthy and be present. And that means I've got more than half my life left.
Yeah,
You know?
well, I know I'm coming up on 50, and I'm like, I feel like I've already lived a whole life.
Yeah.
I have. I've lived a life, and now I have a whole life ahead of me, and I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
like a real life.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
that it wasn't real, but I see things so differently today, and I'm so grateful. And the world that we're living in now is so polarized. I mean, it is so extremely left, right, good, evil. Like, I mean, there's so many extremes right now. And I don't even know where I was going with that.
I just want to stay on the other extreme
So
of
do
happy,
I.
the good,
Me
just
too.
bring peace. There is. What am I going to focus on? Because you can grab a hold of whatever you want and go down whichever road you want.
Yeah.
But I don't. Fear and lack and all that stuff. I'm one day at a time, moving forward. You know, making progress, and I have so far to go. Just making the damage. I mean, just letting God repair the things that are in my life. It's beautiful. To let Him do it is so freeing. So all He wants of me is to stay mentally well and to keep doing what I'm doing, and I can do that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's the small things, like you said. It's the small things, and I've always known that, but I never practiced it. And again, I have a long way to go, but today I'm doing it. Today I'm happy, and it's another beautiful day.
It is.
It's
just constantly choosing the positive.
Yeah.
Choosing all the things that are the good.
Choose the right.
Yeah. Yeah. We were told that since we were like born.
Just choose the right.
You know.
Be honest. That's all that matters. Your
Yeah.
brain will be in tune with you. I love this world. I love y'all.
So do I. It's so wonderful.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And I'm so grateful. I woke up today so grateful.
Me too.
I became aware that I was awake, and I mean, that's like the first thing I say is just thank you. Thank you so much for giving me another day that I get to create and that I get to enjoy and feel good and just make good choices that bring this life into being. It's so wonderful, and I'm so grateful. And thank y'all for being here with us to experience it.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good day.
Bye.